Hey everybody, this is iLad and we're back for another episode of Red Panda Solo. And today we are continuing work on the shipyard that we started building in my last episode. Today, as you can see, I'm standing on the ship's skeleton back in the dry dock area. We're going to work on at least laying the foundation of that dry dock, as well as building the channel that would move a completed ship out through the gap that I'm going to make in our big repair dock out there. So, stay tuned and we'll get that going. So, I guess the first thing that I want to establish is the width of the channel that the ship would theoretically move down to reach the open sea. As I'm looking at it, I know that what I have is actually a much wider space than the standard Minecraft ships would need. But, you know, in theory, I should be able to, a shipyard should be able to produce more than one size of ship, you know what I'm saying? So, I think we're just going to go ahead and we're going to keep this general width, just narrow it up just a little bit more for aesthetic purposes than anything else. Let's see, I don't know why I'm even doing this. Ultimately, that torch or that block is going to be directly against that anyhow. And we're going to have about 2 blocks of gap at the end of this. And actually I'm going to narrow the channel just a bit, whoops, after, like even narrower than I'm making it here, which is still going to be very wide. Well, of course, I'm aiming right for a tree, so goodbye tree. Sorry about that. Also, at some point, Cattle Island over here is gonna have to go, because, yeah, there's just no need to be keeping a bunch of cows right on the edge of the shipyard. and part of their island is gonna get covered up by this, so yeah, poor cows. And let's see, I'm going to have to figure out what I really want to do as far as closing off the back end of this. I don't know. I mean, that's going to take some thought. And like I say, I wasn't really expecting to do much more than the foundations of the actual dry dock. We'll do the main part of the dry dock in a different episode. So, For now, I'm just going to let it kind of end a little abruptly right here, I think. Okay, so I got the solid parts of the channel kind of filled in. As we head farther out there, I don't need a solid channel wall, and I really don't need to have to mine this much cobblestone. So I'm going to switch to doing some kind of arches. And it might take a little work to figure out exactly how I want to build those, but it's definitely going to save me a lot of blocks. One of the things that may not be immediately obvious here is that this isn't just going to be a flat wall, because that would be kind of lame. No, there's going to be depth here too. So, just like I come up and I do that little arch bit, and then there's 3 blocks spanning the gap. 2, 3. I'm gonna do the same thing on this side. Oh, huh. It's shallow here. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. Let's just bring it out a little bit farther. Oh, no, what am I thinking? That is legitimately as far as out as that goes. Put a bring this down. Wait, no, it's not. That is as far out as this goes. Yeah. And this span is going to be the width of the pier lining the shipyard channel. So, yeah, I'm sinking some resources into this, but it's going to be so nice when it's done. Really excited for it, and it's going to be worth every piece of stone, whether that's cobble, stone brick, whatever. Whew! Oh boy, man, that was a lot. These are these are substantial. Hey, I hear a drowned. Each one of these piers is over 64 blocks long. So each one took more than a full stack just to make one row of of cobblestone. So yeah, I burned through most of my cobblestone supply and a pretty huge chunk of my regular stone supply too. And that's okay. Like I said, I knew this was going to be a big investment, and I'm alright with that. The next step is I'm going to go ahead and tear down just this stretch of bridge. I'm not going to tear down that one because it's still very useful to me. And the next thing that I'm going to work on is creating these sort of bumpers for the ships coming down the channel to kind of bounce off of, so they're not scraping directly on the stone pier. And just like that, I'm out of spruce logs. I think I do have a small stash of them here and there, but yeah, I'm going to have to go looking for that. I'm going to sort of carve these up a bit. Make them look like they've been skinned up, by the passage of ships. I might hate that. Let me see what dark oak would look like right there. That honestly blends a little better. So even though the bark doesn't match, that won't matter because I am shaving every one of the dark oak logs so that there is no bark on it anymore. Does a pretty decent job of making it look like ships have knocked the bark off of them. Alright, folks, so I got the bumpers put in. Yeah. And I also came along the edges of the pier and sort of smoothed that out a little bit. Curved it off with some stairs. So it looks a bit more like piled rock, which is what it's supposed to look like, and a little bit less like a perfectly cubed structure. So I think that's definitely an improvement. The point of the piers is not just to sort of mark off where the channel is that new ships would follow. It's also to support winches to kind of pull the ship down the channel before it's actually got the masts mounted on it, or before it's able to sail. So what I'm going to do now is go down these piers and add some mast mounting points, or some winch mounting points, so that it's clear you know, how the ship will actually be towed or pulled all the way down to the end of the channel. Alright, now that's done. I think I'm going to go up high and have a look at this from the air. Come on. There we go. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it looks alright. Honestly, like, that's pretty decent. There's going to be more structures along the pier, so it's going to get a lot more interest value. But I'm pretty satisfied with how it's coming along. It's kind of nice, actually. I didn't put any winches, windlasses, whatever you want to call them. I didn't put any in the back here because, like, if that's the dry dock, first of all, I didn't want them getting in the way. And secondly, why would you need to pull a ship like any other direction than forward, right? So yeah, I didn't see the point to continuing that all the way back. But I think once I get the dry dock actually built and put in, you're gonna see that I didn't need anything like that anyway. The next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in a big crane on either side of the dry dock area, and that's gonna finish it off. I'm gonna do it off camera because it's gonna be essentially the same plan as the ones I built in the last episode, and you don't really care to see that again. But I will be back after I'm done to show you what it all looks like. All right, here we are. Here's the finished shipyard cranes and the partially finished piers, and I'll tell you what I mean by partially finished here in a minute. And actually, I realized that I had not finished the pillars that were holding up that crane on the left end of the repair dock, so I had to go back and finish that up because I don't know, I just overlooked it somehow. But in any case, let's take an aerial look at it. Yeah. Pretty nifty, huh? Alrighty. Pretty pleased with it. There are elements of it that I think I could do better and will do better in the future. One of those is just texturing. Like, I know this is pretty dull, cobblestone everywhere. I'll come back in later. Probably won't be anytime soon. And I'll texture it up with a variety of different materials. I probably won't do as much texture on this as I did on the seawall over that way. But what I definitely plan on doing is adding more of the mossy cobble. Because you see, I used the mossy variants on these, and I used them again on the shipyard cranes. So it wouldn't make sense that all this cobble would be clean, where all this has moss growing on it, right? So I'll come back and I'll fix that at a later time. I said that the piers were mostly finished, or partially finished. This whole cow island, and please don't ask me what happened to the other cows, because who knows, really. I mean, could have been anything. Cow Island is going to be the foundation for some big shipyard-related building. We've got a sandbar out here that is going to be built up into some kind of building. And then the sandbar over here that I've been using for building material storage. Little tiny island over here. this is going to be a third shipyard facility. I don't know yet exactly what function those buildings will have, but I'll probably get started building at least one of those in hopefully the next episode. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your attention. If you've enjoyed watching what I've been doing here today, I hope you'll take a little visit down to the subscribe button. And I'd really love to see you back for the next one. Thank you guys so much. Bye-bye.